My dears, this is KloverDancer, and this is Art of a Woman with me, KloverDancer. Thank you so much for being here with me. I was off last week. I was enjoying a trip in Panama with friends and just getting away and having some time to just exist and be and not be pulled and torn everywhere and doing work and being needed and this way, that way, and all the different ways. So thank you so much for giving me that. Also, too, the last week I was just on VG Radio. I hope you caught that episode. I do promise at some point in time, I will definitely get everything up on my my Clover page, my KloverDancer website, which again, that's KloverDancer.com. Check me out there. I promise I will get all my episodes uploaded. I'm kind of just procrastinating. But yeah, I was on VG Radio. Again, huge shout out to VG Radio. Thank you guys for having me on that platform. You're the reason why I started this whole Art of a Woman thing. And I'm just super duper grateful to be able to talk about this type of thing. It's always interesting in being an Instagram model where, obviously you're to be seen, not necessarily heard. And since I've started my podcast, I realized that I've started to see a lot of models that I follow start to speak. Started, having little segments where they talk about their shoes or something like that. And I think it's beautiful to see. We do have voices. We make this content. We live this lifestyle. I don't have a whole room full of shoes and lingerie, just for the, hell of it. Like, it is a part of my personality. So it is nice to be able to speak on it because we are people who are living that particular lifestyle. This is not just for show. This is how I dress every day. So I love to see more models speaking out. It also, too, surprised me that a lot of these models, for all the different countries that they all come from, you just don't know until they speak. So anyways, but yeah, it's great to be here and talking. Please do forgive me. I'm just getting over a cold. So if I sniffle, please forgive. If you are watching on YouTube right now, hello. It's nice to see you. I am here in my office, and you get privy to the dangle cam, my little creation that I made. And I've been getting great feedback. I love when you guys let me know what you think about the little quirky things that I do. And it seems the dangle cam is a good solid one. So it's like, even when I'm just like, should I do it? I just remember that, no, people, if they tune in, they want to see the dangle cam. As much as I love to think that everybody wants to hear me talk and just talk and talk and talk, I get it, guys. So no harm, no foul. So, what if you are watching on YouTube? I am wearing fishnet stockings, actually pantyhose or whatever you call it. They're not stockings. They don't just stop at my thigh, but these are by Soni Panda X. And I love these. Okay, I have so many fishnet ensembles. I can't even begin to tell you. Rainbow colored, white, red, blue, black, of course, tons and tons of black. I've got the kinds that like have the attached garter around the hip thing, tons of patterns, different lace type intermingled with fishnet. I have, again, so many fishnets. And I truly love this one. Reason why I love this pair so much is because, one, I get the oh goodness, why can't I even think of it? I get the toe. It gives me, the toe shield. You guys are gonna kill me in the comments. I know you are, because I can't think of it right now. I just made a post about kinks and nylons, and it's a Cuban heel and a reinforced toe. I got it. Yes, it has a reinforced toe, which is huge in fishnets. Okay, nothing upsets me more in wearing fishnets than having my toes like, through the holes and then they're all wedged up in the crevices of my toe cleavage and it's just uncomfortable. So this having a reinforced toe just keeps that from happening. It makes it a much more comfortable wear. Also, too, it has a solid fabric that goes from the hips to the waist. So you don't have fishnets like from toe to waist, right? So you do get like something that smooths it over, and it just feels good. It feels more like when you just put on nylons pantyhose. Excuse me again. Sorry, I'm under the weather, but it feels so good just to wear all day long. And so these are my go-tos, and a lot of what I wanted to talk about today really was about bringing fishnets back into just everyday wear. Um, I had posted, I realized that I get a good response whenever I post fishnets, especially on threads. People on threads love fishnets. But also, too, like just in wearing them in general, people look. I know they have a lot of people correlate it to, being fast, easy, being a hooker or a Jezebel or whatever. But I can wear this in my office. And I even asked my boss. I asked him, like, is it okay? Like, does this look okay? Does it look too trampy? And he's like, no, it looks wonderful. Now, I realize that he can be biased, and just because he likes a good pair of legs, just like any of you who are listening or watching. But I'd like to think too that it does work. We need to bring this back and do away with the stigma of them meaning something about a woman's fastness or anything like that. I think it's a wonderful add to the legs. I think it accentuates the best of the legs, the shadows, the curves that it highlights. And like if there's any imperfections that you might have with your legs as a woman, maybe some scabs, some scars, things like that, it does away with it because it will either pull the attention to the beautiful skin tone that is behind it, or pull the attention to the wonderful webbing that is around the leg. So I think it's like a win-win when it comes to fishnets. And again, I could be absolutely biased, but I am writing this campaign to the ground, okay? But again, not all fishnets are created equal. So I'm not going to go on this campaign and tell everybody just go grab your nearest set of fishnets. No, because I have a closet full of fishnets that you couldn't pay me to have to wear all day. Yeah, I have a closet full of fishnets that you couldn't pay me to wear all day. No. I wear them for a shoot and I abruptly take them off just because they're not all comfortable. Yes, I love the different flow of patterns and things that you can get, but they're just thick and they're hard to just maneuver in. So a lot of them, they start sagging in certain places. You're having to constantly pull them up because they don't have a control top feature like these ones do. And like I said before, around the toes where your toes poke through the holes because naturally they're fishnets. And then you just have that bunching right up in your toe joints. That's not, I don't suffer for beauty like that. You will never see me suffer. There are some things that I do suffer for. I think I've mentioned it. Snap crotches, I suffer for. What else? A good garter, maybe even a really nice stocking that has, maybe sometimes the lace or the trim shimmies down a little bit too easy, or it's a little too tight. I'll suffer for that. I'll suffer for a crotchless, depending on the sheerness and the sheen of the stocking or the pantyhose itself. But I am not suffering and having stuff up in my toes while I walk. It's like having a pebble in your shoe. So anyways, back to the subject of fishnets. I can go on tangents. I hope you're enjoying. But Yeah, fishnets, I think that we really need to bring them back and erase the stigma that is attached to, you know, who the woman is who's wearing them. Um, I think of 80s movies all the time, and that's where it all came from. 80s, early 90s movies, they were always the tramps, and the fast women were always wearing the fishnets. Think of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Everything is like always just like pointed to it being fast, but it can be, nice and professional. And I'm going to go as far as to take this to a settlement closing of mine. And I will get back to you guys with what happens if people are actually, staring and what have you, or if they're just like, huh, you know, I like making people think when it comes to fashion. Like, would I ever do that? Could I do that? Could I pull that off? And for me, the answer always is yes, you can. So much of my platform, and I think that a lot of people tend to miss the point, and that's totally fine because I come across in so many different ways. A lot of people just see the central content and just think that I am, a low level sex worker to a degree. But really, truly, honestly, with this podcast, I really am an enthusiast about women finding themselves and finding the sexy within them and wearing the clothes that they put off and think they'll wait for a special day, putting on the high heels and just wearing it and not being scared to enter a room and to command attention, not to be subservient and fade away into obscurity, just because they might fear that their spouse might think that they're trying to do X, Y, Z. No, like, just live, right? Find yourself, find who you were before, and if you weren't that before, become something new. But my platform really is about empowerment for women. And although I have 97% of my followers are men, it's like I really, really want to appeal more and more to women to be like, I can wear that. I can look good in that. Let me just give it a try. I often wear this stuff to grocery store. Actually, I just went to a grocery store before I came here and started making this. And yeah, you get attention, you get looks. But the looks I care most about are from the women. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, guys. I'm in it for the women. I love me a man. Don't get me wrong. But I do it for the women. I want them to look at me and be like, maybe maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll wear that dress. Or maybe tomorrow I'll wear those heels. Or I'll wear lipstick. Um, like, because I want, the only way that you can make change is not by purposefully changing other people. It's just by being truly who you are. So that is the realm that I'm working in. And I just hope that I inspire just simply by existing or walking into a room. So fishnets included. We're not going to, put them in the back of the closet anymore. We're not going to pass them by in the stores. We're going to pick them up. We're going to put them on, and we're going to force people to see the beauty that they are and how they can exude such confidence. And I just like, we're just going to start a movement, guys. I'm just like here for it. And who's with me? But anyways, I digress. Thank you guys so much for, listening in on my plot, on my excitement about fishnets. And again, huge shout out to Soni Panda X for giving me, again, opportunity to serve as an ambassador and to be able to wear her wonderful nylons and stockings. And it's truly an honor, and these are my favorites. As I said before, if you do any shopping on her site, please do use my code KLOVER10 to get 10% off at the checkout. And that does me a solid in letting her know that I inspired you to make this purchase. So yeah, I love you guys, and huge shout out again to VG Radio. To all the viewers out there, you deserve the best because you are worth it. And to those of you watching me on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the dangle cam and the topic of conversation. Please do leave me comments. Let me know what you think. Are fishnet stockings a little too trampy? Are they passable in the workplace? Are they passable just to have casually? What are your thoughts on those? I would love to hear it. So please do comment. And until next week, let me know what you'd like to hear me talk about. There's so much. My head just spins and spins about what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about? And then I just land on something like pretty much the day before. But let me know what you'd like to hear. But I do hope in the meantime that you do have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is The Art of a Woman with KloverDancer. Check out my webpage, KloverDancer.com. Follow me on all of my social media, KloverDancer, Clover Bear, and KloverDancer Office. All of those are my accounts. And then the fan run account, Clover Pleasure X. He is wonderful and posts my content, jazzes it up in his own special way, and I appreciate everyone who supports there. Oh, and also OnlyFans. Follow me on my OnlyFans. Shout out to everybody who does follow me there. It's $5 a month. It's like getting me a cup of coffee. So I appreciate the love and support, you guys. Have a great week.